Hey guys, I'm Allison, I'm the Pampered Wife. Today we are going to put on makeup and talk about some things that are bringing me joy in 2025. Happy New Year! If you're new here, then I already said, hi, I'm Allison, I'm the Pampered Wife. I'm going to be using some products I already have that I'm really loving and enjoying. So let's just jump right in. If you're wondering what this fabulous new look is, you know, I'm always a little ahead of the trends, so into fashion and stuff. This is white paint. I have been painting and decided to wear some of it as an extra accessory. I match my dog actually. He's got some on his ear and the side of his body, so we're twinning. Oh, before we get started with putting makeup on my face, I already have on the True Botanicals Broad Spectrum Sunscreen SPF 30. It's their everyday skin tint, and I have the shade, I believe it's 6. You know, 6 could be 6, could be 9, then I think it would be 90. So it's gotta be 6. I really dislike this. True Botanicals is fabulous, excellent brand. This is one of my least favorite sunscreens. You do need to shake it because this is tinted. If you get the untinted version, I've tried that one and it's fine. I would definitely recommend the untinted version over this. One thing I do like is the packaging. It's, I guess, a milky glass, and it's a pump top. Here's the shade. It's a little deep for me right now. I feel like I look a little orangey, like I face tanned, fake tanned or something, but I didn't. One thing that I don't like is from the second I got it, it smelled gross. It didn't smell like it's gone bad. It just smells gross. Another thing is, it's sort of a whipped consistency, but it's not like a smooth whipped consistency. Do you see that? It feels inelegant. It does dry down a bit, but you see it can be streaky if you don't get the pigment on perfectly right as you spread it around. And then see my fingers, it stains like that. It's just a really inelegant formula, and I don't recommend it, but I'm going to use it. I'm gonna use it up. Yeah, it smells bad. It's almost cocoa smelling, but not chocolate. You know how cocoa's a bit bitter? It leans toward that scent. If you've tried it, let me know. Is this irregular that mine smells like that? And do you like it? Because I just find it's just not good. So many great formulas out there, and this is not one of them. I'm gonna put my hair up. I know we're having a hard time jumping in. This is the mood today. I'm very into astrology. That's one thing that's been bringing me some joy, also some fear. I don't believe we should be afraid, and I don't believe that astrology should be fear-mongering or anything like that. It's just a reflection of what's going on. It mirrors what's going on Earth and vice versa. If you're into astrology, let me know if you agree with that. But the energy right now is a lot's changing, and I feel that, and it's making me not anxious, but almost excited, like change is coming and I feel it. I just feel it. And so I've been a little on edge, unsettled emotionally. I'm a little bit scattered because I had regular coffee this morning. I don't really drink regular coffee. I've slipped back into it a little bit, but I've been on decaf for months, and I gotta say, coffee is a joy bringer. Oh, so actually what I was gonna say is I will tell you the products I'm using while I'm putting them on, and also I'm looking for my brush. Also, I will link them in the description box down below. So I'm starting with a foundation I've really loved all year. It's by Ritual de Fille, and like all of Ritual de Fille's products, the packaging is coming off. This is a very small women-owned brand. I believe it's owned by 3 sisters, but 2 of them do most of the public work or something. Anyway, this is a 3-drop weightless serum foundation, and I have Potion, I wanna say 120. No, Potion 130. Actually, I'm just gonna take this off, and I think I'll write it on here because this is so annoying. I don't think it's glass even. It does have a push button down here that sometimes doesn't work, so that's also annoying, but the foundation itself is lovely. It's all mineral tints and natural. It does have a slight scent, but I just have been loving this. And every time I wear it, someone compliments me on my skin, which is also nice. And I'm doing the joy, I guess I should start by saying I'm doing the joy thing because like I said, I just felt unsettled. This has just been a weird time. I haven't really felt present. I've just felt this inner hum that, like I said, is sort of like anxiety, but also excitement. So I'm trying to focus on the things that center me, ground me, keep me in the moment, and distract me from this sense that things are weird and changing. And it doesn't even mean it's bad, but even good change can be stressful. So of course my family is one thing that's been great. My son was home over break. He's in college and it was wonderful to see him. He's 19. I'm just taking what's left on the tip and dotting that there. You really don't need a lot of this. You saw how much I put on. It's a beautiful finish. You can build it up some more to a medium coverage for sure, but I'm doing lighter today because I'm just in a sweatsuit. So having him home was great. I hardly saw him, which I think is appropriate for his age and everything. He should want to be with his friends. But that was also hard, knowing he didn't even ask me to cook special foods for him or anything, and it's where we're supposed to be, and it's difficult. While it was great having him home, it was also emotionally jarring a little bit. But here's something that made me so happy. He gave me this. This is my dog Chunk. It's his face. And I'll try to put the information on here of who made it, what company. It came in a pretty blue box. First I thought, is this Tiffany's? Which I was like, that's crazy, but it's like that kind of blue, and it's so cute and pretty and just so special that I've been wearing it nonstop. I'm in love with my dog. If you didn't know, I'm kind of obsessed with him. He has these floppy ears when he runs, and he's just the cutest thing. He's 14 and a half, so I'm also stressed about him and sensing change and our relationship changing. I notice him staring at the wall sometimes, maybe dementia. He also has had some unfortunate incidents. Oh, this is the Acai concealer. I have the shade 6 in this. It's the Slip Tint Concealer Corrector. And this is kind of elastic. It's real easy to spread out and very skin-like. But as I was saying, my poor dog, we've gone to the same vet since we've had him. We got him when he was about 1.5 years or 2 years old. And he loves the vet. We've always had a great experience there. And recently, this past summer, he had a lump on the back of one of his legs, and it was bothering him. And we're like, oh, let's just take it off because we don't know, it could turn into something bad. And, it was getting bigger. So they did, or they were going to. And the thing is, when we adopted Chunk, my dog, he had been kept in a crate before we got him and had chewed on the crate so much that his 2 canine teeth were really worn away. And the vet told us when we took him in for the very first time and they looked at his mouth, never to put him in a crate, because if he chewed on that crate, which he clearly was likely to do, that his canines would break. That he absolutely, and to be careful even with bones with him, that his teeth, he had really worn them down. And we did not want to have his, canines break or anything that would really affect his quality of life. So they knew this. I reminded them of this. And what did they do? They stuck him in a crate. And he broke some of his teeth while he was waiting to have his procedure done. So this past summer, not only did he get the bump removed, but he also had to have like 4 teeth pulled, which was really sad because he has healthy, strong teeth. It's just they were worn down and a little fragile from chewing the crate. Anyway, that was very upsetting, but he did great. So I took him in last week to have another tooth pulled because he and I were playing tug of war, which he loves. And I just tug, just kind of like that. I was sitting on a chair and leaned down to his level, and I tugged, and his face banged into the leg of my chair, and it knocked a tooth loose, one of like a little tooth, and it was bleeding, and it was so loose that when he stuck his tongue out, the tooth would flop up. It was awful. He was fine. He didn't even cry, but I saw it and the blood and everything. Not to belabor the point or upset you or anything, he acted just fine, but he needed to have that tooth pulled because it was almost knocked all the way out. Anyway, while they had him under, we had to remove another lump that was on the other leg. And so long story short, or long story long, I love him so much and I worry about him, and he did great with the anesthesia, but he's getting older and doing some older dog things, and it's just hard. Anyway, he brings me so much joy looking at him, watching him seeing his ears flop, flop, flop when he runs or walks. He's just so cute. And I'm really enjoying all my time with him and watching him. And his appetite's still really good and strong, don't worry. That's the Alima Pure Eye Primer. I love this stuff. It really makes a difference. Okay, this next thing is probably obvious, but since it's winter time now, and I live in Colorado where we do get snow and it can be cold, nice weather. When the sun is out, I'm a different person. Makes me so happy. Even if it's cold, just to have the sun out makes such a difference. I'm going in now with my Dear Dahlia palette. I have never shown this, I don't think, on my channel. I got this when I was in Japan, I think it was last year. I had only ever seen Dear Dahlia advertised on like my Instagram, I think. It was in person at one of the department stores, and it's just a pretty everyday palette. I find that it does make a big difference to put the eye primer on underneath, and that is why I put that on today. So I'm just gonna put this shade all over my lids and use pretty much almost the whole palette, not this white one, but I will swatch it for you. This is really pretty. Okay, so yes, the weather makes a big difference in my mood. I love having the sun out. It just really makes me happy. I'm a person who is really affected. I do get seasonal affective disorder, which is abbreviated as SAD. It is a real thing, you guys. I never thought it was a real thing until I experienced it. So yeah, this palette can be a teeny bit powdery. You see the powder over here, there's a little powder there, but it's not, there's no fallout that I see on my face. I really like this one, especially these neutral shades, and I love that it comes with some shimmer and the topper. Okay, another thing that's great is Only Murders in the Building. Have you guys seen this? It is a TV show. It's on Hulu, I believe. It has Selena Gomez, Martin Short, and Steve Martin. Basically, they accidentally come across murders in their building and they become obsessed with solving it. It's just enjoyable. It's just a pleasure. I've seen all 4 seasons. They're coming out with a 5th season. You know it's got to be good if they're able to make 5 seasons. It does have some swearing, but it's got a great sense of humor, lightheartedness. It's older people who, Steve Martin is like 78, I believe. He's the oldest of the bunch, which other than Selena Gomez, I would have thought he was the youngest or the younger between him and Martin Short. It's just a delight. I highly recommend it. It is murder mystery every season. You know, there's a little intrigue and lots of great stars are on the show, but it's not scary. You're never really worried. There's no real trauma involved with it. I'm going in with the deep brown and putting that in my crease. So that has been a lot of fun. My husband has been watching with me, which is also nice because there are very few shows that both of us enjoy. We both are enjoying this. It's just super fun. Also, I've been enjoying reading, which, you know, these forms of escapism basically. And the most recent book I read is The Ministry of Time. So interesting. Now, my husband got it for me because I just, you know, like I said, I've just been in a state and I was like, I need a good book, but I don't know what I want to read. I can't pick anything. So he just went and picked a book for me and gave it to me and said, I think you'll like this. I typically like historical fiction. I do like some fantasy. Maybe it's even science fiction, I'm not sure. What, like with witches or being able to do things with your mind or something like that, but not too much, too fantasy. I'm fine or enjoy a book with some romance, but I'm not a romance novel person. Anyway, this was really interesting. I don't know that I'd give it 5 stars, but I'd say 4. Which you're like, oh, that's not the greatest. I don't know why I wouldn't give it 5, other than I wasn't necessarily gripped. I wasn't like, oh my God, I gotta get back to my book. It wasn't a gripping story, but it definitely was one that is unique and interesting. So like I said, I didn't know what it was about when I started reading it. I just trusted my husband that I would enjoy it and got, you know, started reading it. And basically it's about the government in England in present day has extracted some people from history who we knew or they knew when they died and where, so that it wouldn't make a difference if they extracted them right then and there. It wouldn't make a difference to the past. And using modern medicine, they could save them. And so it was to see basically how that affects things, how they do, and then there's a whole intrigue and plot that follows. But it took a while to work up to. About halfway through the book, I was like, oh, okay, it's finally getting somewhere. But it was definitely interesting prior to halfway through. That's a book I recommend. I've read quite a few. I have to look back at my list. I try to keep a list of books I've read, otherwise I just forget. So if you have any good book recommendations, let me know. Actually, later today, I was planning on going to the library and trying to find one. So this is the gold in here, and it's got a really nice metallic effect. Just gonna put that right in the center of the eye. I feel like my eyes, my shape, something about it, I really need that pop to open the eye and make me look more awake. It just makes such a huge difference. And I'm not even trying to make it glam, I'm just trying to look better. And for me, I feel like this does that. Going in now with my OG sculpted face stick in copper. Oh, there's also another escapism thing that I'm loving is on YouTube. There is this channel, Andrea Gates, I believe is her name, and she renovates tiny spaces. And by renovate, it's typically renters. She goes into like 500 square feet and smaller for the most part, rental units, and makes them spaces that the people living there will love, and then renter friendly changes and things, a lot of DIY stuff. Although of course she has this guy on there who does the DIY stuff, who is a professional woodworker. I can't think of the exact word. I mean, this guy does amazing things. It's like, who's doing that? Who has that many saws and that many size whatever in a whole space to lay out all that stuff? And anyway, I'm obsessed with this channel. I love her. I don't even know if she's 30. She's adorable. She has a great sense of humor, shows her cast and crew, and it's just a lot of fun. And it's so fun to see what she does with these small spaces. So I'm just pretty much watching every single one of those. I'm still loving makeup. That definitely, gives me joy. So I wear a full bead of makeup pretty much every day. And I mean, even the days I'm napping, because there have been those days too, where I just have been like, oh, I can't today. I did recently get an electric car, a car with an electric battery. My charger has not arrived yet. We ordered a charger from Best Buy to have installed at the house so I can charge the car. In the meantime, I go and charge my car somewhere else. Part of the program of me getting my car was I get like 1 or 2 years free charging at this one, I think it's Charge America is the name of the company. And so I'm always trying to find a Charge America station, and there aren't that many near me. It has been a bear to get it charged, my car charged. And so that's another thing bringing me joy is when I find an open charger, I am so excited. It is the best. I'm like, celebrate, and just so happy. It's ridiculous how happy it makes me, but it does. Okay, now I'm going in with the OG sculpted face stick in rose quartz. This is a redder blush for me, one of the most red in my collection, I would say. So this is my first foray into an electric vehicle. It's really interesting. I mean, I love the car. I'm loving the experience. I will enjoy it much more when I have a charger in my house. I think I've never worn down the charge to below 50%, but I'm always anxious about getting it charged because I feel like it's just not available to me. I could, and I have gone to a charger and paid, but it's just not readily available to me, and I'm always worried. That's the only thing, is there has been a constant sense of lack regarding the charging and energy. So I need to get past that because I haven't run out of charge. I don't see that I will. I'm not driving it long distances or anything. But other than that, it's been a lot of fun, and I've really enjoyed the drive, the ride. It's so quiet. Yeah, finding a charging station open is just like I won the lottery. I hit the jackpot. I've done something amazing, and I call my husband, I'm like, I did it, I found one. It's just always so exciting and joy-bringing. We're gonna do brows now, so I may have to be quiet. We'll see if I can talk. This is the 100% pure brow gel in medium brown. Of course, candles are always a good thing. I'm loving this candle brand, PF Candle Company. Soy candle poured in California with 100% soy wax. This particular scent is Los Angeles. I have 3 or 4 of these. It's sort of clean smelling. I'm so bad at describing scents. I keep this one in my bathroom and love to burn it while I'm taking a bath. This one's probably my favorite. I guess I should face you. This one's probably my favorite. Number 22 Mojave, and I don't know how to describe that one. I have multiples of these. I love them. They do not have a lot of throw, but I bought them on sale, so they could be older, and maybe that's why they don't have a lot of throw. So I find keeping them in a smaller space, like a bathroom or right behind me or next to me, is the way to burn these, but I love them. Speaking of which, Shelby Wilson, I believe is her name, is a YouTuber who does makeup. Not clean beauty. She's probably about 30. I think everyone's around 30. I either think they're like 18 or 30. Because I'm of that age that everyone looks so young. And I know she is young and she's pregnant with her second child. She probably had it already. Anyway, she has released a candle line that is all clean and everything. So I purchased one of her candles in the scent Husk because that's her very first candle scent that she came up with, and she described it and it was so amazing. And so I got it. I was not impressed. Not with the candle itself. They're all hand poured. I think she and her mom pour them. The candle itself is lovely. The scent itself reminded me of something I've already had multiple times. Just didn't seem like such an original scent is what I'm saying. But then she released sample sizes that you could smell. So I bought them, and they're not candles. I don't know what they are. They're these things. My husband figured out for me that basically we put it on a double boiler in a little container on top of a double boiler or something. So the heat melts it and you can smell it. Anyway, there are a couple that I love that I'm going to be buying full size. One is Suede Saffron that I just dropped. Something about it reminds me of my father, who, if you know, passed away a little over a year ago now, last October, not this past one, but the one before. And Suede Saffron, I don't know if it smells like the body soap he used. I don't think it's a cologne, but something about it reminds me of him. So I'm definitely getting that one. And then Herbaria smells delicious. And there was the other one that I really enjoyed too. So I'm gonna get all 3 of these, and she only has 4, and I already have the 4th one, which is Husk. And it's just coconutty smelling like that. That's the least interesting one to me, is the one I already got. So anyway, loving candles, loving the house smelling good, really enjoying that. We are almost done. I know you may think, really? I'm not loving the Sephora mascara, but I am going to go get it. I found another one of their candles, Teakwood and Tobacco. I have not burned this one yet, but it smells so good, and I feel like this one smells a little wintry, so I definitely need to burn this one. I will get that started later today. I'm not loving this Sephora Big by Definition mascara. I love the way it looks when I apply it, but it definitely leaves smudging under my lower lash line, really, and I never put it on my lower lashes. I never put any mascara on my lower lashes. Okay, food-wise, aside from the typical sugary chocolate desserts that I'm addicted to and probably should address in the new year, I'm kind of obsessed with acai bowls. Probably because it's basically an ice cream or a sorbet that I get to eat and pretend like it's a meal, like an actual not dessert for lunch or not dessert for dinner kind of thing. So I'm loving acai bowls. I've started making them at home, which are super easy. And then the other thing is kind of silly. Dried apricots. There's just something about the vibrancy of the color and the squishiness of biting into it, and then the sweetness. I'm just totally enjoying the dried apricots, and my mom used to love them, and so there's also that bit of nostalgia that eating them reminds me of just time with my mom when she would eat them and I was younger and I didn't understand what was so great about them, and now I do, and oh my gosh, there's lots of fiber in here. If you're not used to eating them, caution. Just eat one and maybe the next day eat 2, see how you do, because there's a lot of fiber in here, but they're so good. And I've really been enjoying the apricots and the acai bowls. I think the acai bowl, even though it's cold and it's winter, why am I eating it when it's cold? Do you eat ice cream when it's cold? I don't know. I'll put my toe warmers on and I'll sit and I'll eat an acai bowl. I'm putting a little bit of one of my top 2 favorite blushes, discoveries of the year, is the Lawless Pinch My Cheek Soft Blur Cream Blush in Cheeky. It's this pink, it's not plum, whatever. I'm putting this on my cheeks, on the apples of my cheeks, to look like I have a little bit of a healthy flush to my cheeks. Absolutely love this stuff because it is blurring. It's so easy to apply. And I use the tiniest bit. I use this pretty much every day. And you would think I've only ever swatched it. Okay, something else that has been bringing me so much joy are lip products. There have been so many great lip products recently. This actually is a Mob Beauty lip liner in the shade, I was gonna say, yeah, M1990. And I just quickly line my lips. Sometimes I fill them in, and I don't know that I'll ever buy another lipstick, even though I do keep buying lipsticks, but I could just buy a lip liner and top it with any of my favorite lip balms. And I didn't mention this one in the best of 2024, I don't think, but it is. So I've got the Kypris Sahajan Tower 28 and Edam. These are all clear. I love every single one of them. These have been my top, all well loved, and they're all a little bit different. I think I talk about them all except for this one in my best of 2024, which I will link here and also put in the description box. But they have just been great. But also, I've been loving this RMS, I don't even know what this one's called. It's in the shade Pamela, but I don't know what the actual product is. To me, it's a lip tint. It's really quite pigmented. I love the shade. It smells like vanilla, but it smells like actual vanilla extract. It creates a beautiful lip stain. I could definitely wear it today. I've worn it more often than I would think, but I don't find it moisturizing or hydrating or any of the things that it claims to be. So I always end up topping it with a lip gloss or lip balm. And I'm loving these two. First of all, I've talked about this. We've now transferred, well, yeah, these things are bringing me joy. I was gonna say we've now transferred from applying makeup to talking about makeup, but this brings me so much joy. This is such a great lip gloss formula. It's the St. Jane lip gloss. I have the shade Alchemy, and it's kind of hard to get out, and that was frustrating at first for me. This is new. It didn't used to be that difficult to pull out. But the reason why is, and it's tinted because I put it on over this so often, it's not typically tinted, because I think I used to put too much on. You don't actually need that much to get this gorgeous, wet looking shine. This is tenacious. It will stay on so long, and you only need a thin little amount, and it's so beautiful, and I love it. This is the only shade I've ever tried too. I probably should try other shades, but there are so many things I love. I'm gonna put this on today. This is the Lawless Forget the Filler. This is nude. Whoop. See, that's one thing that I don't like about this, is when you pull it out, it always is like that, like pulls a bunch of product out, and if you're not careful, you'll lose it. For me, it's just a little big, but I must have skinny little lips, so I just use the back or whatever I can. Yeah, see, I got a little too much. So you can see the difference. It is just a shiny nude. Not much pigment there, but just a little. This also is so gorgeous. I love it, and I just had to buy another Forget the Filler. I ran out of the most current shade I was using, and I'm really in love with Lawless. So, okay, I have one more thing that's been bringing me joy. You're gonna think I'm crazy, and I am, so that's okay. Vacuuming with my Dyson cordless vacuum. Now, just hold on a second. Let me show you a video of how satisfying this is. I just feel like so many things I do, I feel like I'm banging my head against the wall, or you can't tell I've done anything, even though I feel like I've spent all day doing whatever, like cooking a meal. You can spend hours preparing and cooking a meal, and it's gone in 15 minutes. Yes, if I vacuum the house or wherever I vacuum gets dirty again, but it is so satisfying. It has this green light that shines, and I can see every bit of dust and dirt, and it sucks it up, and it's so satisfying that I actually love turning all the lights off, going around and vacuuming, and I feel like I've accomplished something, and it's so light and easy, and I've got this stand for it that I've got to find a place to put it, but I have a stand for it that holds all of the pieces of equipment that go with it, and it's just so satisfying, and I love it so much. So this is the Clover highlighter in the shade Clio. They call it an illuminator. I will put that right here for you. It reminds me of the Kjaer Weis highlighter a bit in the sense that it's more pearlescent than a wet, shiny, glowy look. Let me cover my eyes so you can see it. It's really pretty and it lasts a long time, and I just use my finger to apply it. I really don't like to apply sticks right to my face. I don't care what the brand says or anyone says, they always take off my makeup underneath. And so if I can use my finger and dot it on, yes, this is paint. So here's without, here's with. On that note, I'm not doing a Project Pan, but I am really going to try not to. No, I am not going to buy any new products unless I don't have something like that in my collection. Tell you, it's already been a struggle. There haven't been really new releases that I'm super excited about. I really want to try the Lisa Eldridge foundation, her skin tint. I think that's the only foundation she has. I've just heard wonderful things about it. I want to try the Live Tinted SPF. That's a tinted SPF. Don't know that that's really considered a foundation, and it is definitely an SPF. There were other products I want to try. Anyway, makeup-wise, I've not been that excited about anything except for the CL blushes. I have one in the shade Bahati that I think is pretty much perfection, but I still want other shades, and I'm loving this Lawless blush as well, the cream blush, fantastic. But otherwise, like, I haven't seen any eyeshadow palettes that I'm excited about. There are always cream eyeshadows that I want to try. Ooh, I do want to try different mascaras. Can you tell I've had some coffee? I do want to try some mascaras. I want to try the Ma Beauty mascara. I want to try the new Sochi. I believe it's at Credo, and it is a tubing mascara. So I definitely want to try that. And since I'm really not liking the Sephora mascara, I mean, I love the way it looks upon application, but in 3 hours, I'm gonna look like maybe I've been crying, maybe something happened under here. It's not gonna be a good look. Let's see what the hair can do. I sent my son a picture of my hair, and then I said, you know, the dog and I are twins, and I sent a picture of the dog with paint in the dog's hair, and my son said, oh, I thought you were showing me how you're letting your hair go gray. Really? In this pattern, you thought I was showing you how my hair's going gray? First of all, you saw me last week, and you don't go gray that fast. And second of all, huh? So let me know your suggestions for books. What's bringing you joy? If you're going through it like I am, just a weird energy that change is coming. Of course, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, share it with a friend. Sharing is caring, subscribe, and I hope to see you back soon. This took me a while to get back here. And as always, I hope you find some time to pamper yourself today. Bye.